stubborn to equinox, and I rape, and I rape, and I rip, and I rend, everlasting world without end, mannequin, maiden, maiden, man, the might of Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, 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 yo Pan, yo Pan. Give me the sign of the open eye and the token erect of thorny thigh and the word of madness and mystery. Oh, Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, yo Pam Pan, Pam Pam Pan. I am a man. Do as thou wilt, as a great God can. Oh, Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, Pan. I am awake in the grip of the snake. The eagle slashes with beak and claw. The gods withdraw. The great beast come. Yo Pan, I am born. The death on the horn of the unicorn. I am Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, Pan, Pan. I am thy mate, I am thy man, goat of thy flock, I am gold, I am God. Flesh to thy bone, flower to thy rod, with hoofs of steel I race on the rocks, through solstice stubborn to equinox. And I rave, and I rape, and I rip, and I rend, everlasting world without end. Mannequin maiden, maynard man, in the might of Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, Pan, yo Pan. Give me the sign of the open eye and the token erect of thorny thigh and the word of madness and mystery. Oh, Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, 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 Pan. I am a man. Do as thou wilt, as a great God can. Oh, Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, yo Pan, 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 Pan. I am awake in the grip of the snake. The eagle slashes with beak and claw. The gods the unicorn. I am Pan, Iopan, Iopan, Pan, 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 Pan. I am thy maid, I am thy man, God of thy flock. I am gold, I am God, flesh to thy bone, flower to thy rod. With hoofs of steel I race on the rocks, through solstice stubborn to equinox, and I reap and I rape and I rape and I render the lasting world without end. Manikin, maiden, Maynard man, in the might of Pan. Iopan, Iopan, Pan, 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 Pan. Iopan, Iopan, Pan, 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 Pan. Iopan. Give me the sign of the open eye, and the token erect of thorny thigh, and the word of madness and mystery. Open, Iopan, 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 pam, 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 pam. I am a man. Do as thou wilt, as a great God can. Open, Iopan, 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 pam.
I'm in agreement, Scott. I think that's very important, that the idea of power in the Bible is always present. There's questions about, what are the ethics? Where is the ethical boundary? Is this going to, are some of these decisions and posturing going to make sure that the community in itself is part of these discussions and understandings and how they're going to move forward? And we're always questioning that, right? That's the Jewish Bible is here to question, not just to take it for what we read. Why? And there's questioning amongst themselves in the Bible. You'll see the contradictions. It's not always so apparent, but there's a big question. We don't talk about kings unless there are different pieces from way before they're of the kings. But I'm saying the Bible is moving us forward toward an opportunity that was given to us, right? Given to us at Sinai, and it's important for us to constantly go back and look at those, ethical mores and how we're going to improve upon it. It's not just there just to stay there, and that's why we have opportunities to say we don't like certain things in the Bible. We need to turn it, and make sure that the guidelines are something that we can provide for ourselves and our community so that we don't fall off the scale.
There you go. You're getting thumbs up from Eitan, which is, if Eitan gives you thumbs up, then you are a good YouTuber.
Thank you, Eitan. I love you. You know that.
Good Shabbos moderators. I'd love to answer the question, is critical theory helpful?
Good Shabbos, Mr. Kitover.
launched our campaign at the Thomas Jefferson Memorial, we had over 2,000 people watch our live stream. We filled out one petition sheet, and that's all I'm going to get filled out. And I'm going to do a write-in candidacy. So it's a big success already. I'm the first write-in candidate, and I will get national press because I filed. But when they challenge me in November, I will be removed from the ballot. But I will be a write-in candidate. That's my strategy. I'm building momentum slowly. Critical mass takes time, but critical theory doesn't take time. It takes time away. And that's what the communist, socialist, pluralist, Democrat socialists want, which is to take your attention. The attention economy can be controlled through useless rhetoric like critical race theory, DEI, CRT, BLM, LGBTQIA+. I mean, when you look at LGBTQIA and you actually look at what the plus is and what the A is, you're like, wow, they're really reaching for what is the meaning of LGBTQIA+ in an acronym. So what I'm trying to say is, if we are all a mirror, and the concept of I am is the polishing cloth, the problem with critical race theorists or Democrat socialists is that they're not in the now. They are repeating memories and communicating memories to you from hundreds of years ago, and it takes you out of the now. So they're basically anti-philosophical, they are anti-God, and they are ideologically and politically captured, and they want to capture you with their tomfoolery. Fools talk and they fool you with their talk. And so if you're in the now, which is like a Zen or a Nirvana, you wouldn't even bother engaging in critical race theory conversation because it's not as good as music. Mozart is still the all-time king in my opinion. I play Mozart in my car, and immediately I am transformed or into a time machine into the most luxurious music you could ever hope to have created. But now AI music creation is even surpassing Mozart. But the critical race theorists, the Democrat pluralists, socialists, communists, they are essentially demanding that you and I get into a time machine with them and let them drive the vehicle. And I'm not down with that. And I assume a lot of you are also not down with that game. So they're trying to play a game with you with critical race theory all the time, either through reparation conversations or other conversations. But you will notice one feature, which is the Trump derangement syndrome, which is essentially always there with a Democrat pluralist, socialist, LGBTQI+. Look at the dating profiles. If you voted Trump, F you die. That's what a lot of these liberal socialists say on their dating profiles. So we're living in a culture clash. We're living in a political, ideological capture situation. But the truth is, liberation theology surpasses all CRT or DEI or historical narratives. That's the brilliance of 1776. That's what the founders, the enlightened thinkers, the Freemasons that believe in this supreme source of power, this supreme source of love, of peace, of justice, the originator, the creator. Look at AOC. She's on Instagram spamming us with day number 7 of her egg freezing experiment. That's our congresswoman, our lawmaker, spamming us with her freezing eggs after she separated from her fiance. Is it mental health? That's what I think. All right, I am complete. The agent is here, I'm sure, because agent hates me. Agent always talks bad about me. Shame on you, agent. I don't know who you are or who you think you are, but I pray for your peace. I pray for your love. I pray for your joy. I pray for your strength. Maybe you should read a book and go to the gym. I am complete.
Agent really throwing down the gauntlet to you, my friend.
Yes, can I ask a question? I guess, does anyone, the whole brand of Nancy, right? So, who actually cared that she is documenting this thing? She grew up in an age of social media, and social media is her thing. I've seen people document far less interesting things, and And I don't get why everybody cares. Why
And Daryl,
everybody cares about
if
that.
Chris Hayes is right, which he absolutely is, and the coin of the realm is attention, right? I mean, this is why whether you're Mamdani or whether you're Trump, what makes you a winner in this political landscape is attention, right? It's getting a capacity to garner attention. It is a great attention getting move, and saying, and getting into the oppressive nature of the Trump administration and women's issues and all that stuff while you're freezing your eggs. It gets everybody's talking about it, right?
Well,
That's the name.
I thought we only had 5 years left with this Green New Deal, and now she's freezing eggs.
So it's the whole idea of the word influencer, right? It's about influence. It's 2021. I worked with NYU. I did some shooting for them about the rise in the number of women over 30 who are freezing their egg. They said that the rise has been significant because there are more women over 30 who are finding themselves single, and with the science that the egg do degrade. Someone probably should have told her that she should have frozen them in her 20s. So she's, what is she, 35, 36, and she's freezing her eggs? Get in line. Like,
Only got like 15% of them left.
There actually is a solution to like the fertility crisis, and a lot of people don't mention it, but it's quite easy.
Oh God.
We get Manville to fertilize every woman on Earth.
It'll be like Genghis Khan, Manville.
Well, that would ensure my genetic survival, right?
It will create an Ubermensch out of humanity, a totalizing Ubermensch, humanity, Manville.
Mind over matter. Manipulate the reality.
And then when everyone has Manville consciousness, true consciousness, instead of false consciousness, we get communism. Boom. Boom.
If you think the descendants of me are going to fall for your communist bullshit, you truly have no grasp of the situation.
No idea of his genetic makeup.
I'm
Couldn't
sure,
wait with the hesitation what you were going to say, Manville.
I'm sure if you took a microscope to Manville's blood, you'd see little swastika cells.
No. It's Labubu. You have to play along with the analogy. It will be red blood cells, right?
It would be true red. Because it would be the Aryan. I'm actually Caucasian, as in from the Caucasus. My Y chromosomes are 9,000 years old.
What haplogroup are you, Manville?
What's the
G2B1.
B1 isn't from the Caucasus.
It's from Georgia.
Isn't G? Yeah, G isn't Indo-Aryan though. G comes later. Indo-Aryan is R1.
No.
A. Yeah, it's R1. That is the Indo-Aryan.
No, those are the chariot right there. They're much younger. Those are the chariot riding
Yamnaya.
Homosexuals the Yamnaya that perused all through Eastern Europe and down into Iran.
So you're older than.
And Western, and in India. Yeah, I know.
Well, shit. This is a little contradictory because you know who else was G haplogroup? Joseph Stalin.
Who's that? Okay, yeah. I think you were telling me that before. It's very tiny little, but it's like original to the land there, right? Something like that.
I just
the highest percentage is in modern day Georgia.
That you don't have 11 toes, like the great leader.
No, the original and the original settlers of Europe were G. In Southern Europe, Otzi the Iceman was also G. Right. So.
But you
But,
also have to contend with a percentile of Neanderthal DNA. Because I think Labubu, nature already created an Ubermensch. His name was Neanderthal.
I do have very high
That means
Neanderthal
the
markers.
Neanderthal was overwhelmed by the Untermensch Homo sapien. And
Well, they mixed together. Although they sort of got out.
the Neanderthal is in the height.
They're down to 4% or so or less.
It's about 4%. But Manville, my haplogroup is R1AZ93. And so we're related, Manville. And I think you have communism in you, actually.
Nice. No, R1B is the best haplogroup. But, we'll take the R1As, the cousins.
So R1 is the white privilege, genetically.
Yeah, that's right.
R1B is the white privilege, but again, they came later from the east and populated northern Europe. The G's were more prevalent in southern Italy,
Can I just say that this room has become like a Jewish genealogical gene testing room, and all I gotta say is you guys are doing the same exact bullshit that other attention economists do, which is bring up irrelevant genetic categorical information, and then you're like proud about your genetic history, and you even think it's accurate. So, as a Michelin, yeah, I know you can test these things, but it still doesn't change a book, does it? Your brain, your genes, your identity, and your conditioning and your environment, you can manipulate and control all that. You're born into a genetic soup. You can't control that, but you can control the content that you consume. And in terms of the title of this room, Critical Theory, what you guys are doing is the same bullshit as critical theory, but in a different game format, and it's retarded. And I just want to say, I hope you all have a happy Saturday, and don't waste your time talking about redundant, stupid shit, nor listening to uninteresting, boring shit. And if you think it sucks and it's boring, just speak like I'm speaking and say, I think this conversation is for faggot retards, and I am complete.
What would be a better conversation for Greza?
Oh my God, just let it go.
No,
Let it
no,
go. We're not going further.
Yeah, don't engage.
Yeah, that's
Well, no,
really,
he's listening with his.
Don't feed the troll.
yeah, it's really, we
It's
don't need
on
to
you
feed
if you feed the troll.
it. Yeah.
Oh, well, we had fucking Isaiah in here for like an hour.
Maybe that was enough. I wasn't.
I had to police that best I could. Yeah, that's the only way is you just have
No,
to
my
keep-
favorite. Isaiah said the '90s America was a horribly segregated, racist suburban hellscape.
Oh, I missed that part.
I missed it too. Thank you for repeating it. Great.
Yeah, I was unaware.
Of
the struggle.
It was a struggle.
I mean, in fairness, if you grew up in Boston, I could see how you like come away with that perspective.
Yeah, well, that place turned into a hellhole early.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't just a hellhole because of the segregation.
If I was Isaiah and I grew up around like the worst form of white person America's ever produced, I might have more of a jaded outlook.
That's why we have critical theory.
Can I read a critical theory?
Oh God. Labubu, I was surprised that you held your tongue the whole time when they were bastardizing your beautiful, annoying, useless theory.
Wait, before you go, just give me 1 sec. I just wanted to say I could only listen at the time, but we had Christian here, and people might not know, but he's a young, when he was on here a year and a half ago or so, he was prepubescent. I mean, he's quite mature and impressive. He's like a man now. He can roll with the punches.
Yeah, but he couldn't elucidate why it's wrong to harm people beyond it's just bad.
All right, he's got a little ways to go, but I don't know if I could have done better than that, honestly, because it's one of those. For me, that's just axiomatic. That in the way. Hey,
Right, but he's either ashamed or unaware of the axiom that he's using.
Yeah, he could
Wait.
say it more succinctly next time.
I have a question because I'm confused right now. Agent, were you saying as a 40-year-old man, you were talking to prepubescent children on the internet?
He would come in the rooms.
I'm
I didn't recruit him or groom him, but he would. And smart kid. What are you gonna do about it? Like, I don't. For me, it's not inappropriate to talk to a kid who's, especially a smart kid. Anyway, I'm done speaking.
But are you complete?
So I was just reading some critical theory a couple of days ago. I'm gonna read a sentence, and I would like Manville's opinion on it. Race ideology is a pure biopathic expression of the character structure of the orgastically impotent man. Manville, folks.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was it. I was tuning you out because I thought you were going to go on for 5 minutes.
Go ahead, Manville.
Nice one.
I'll reread it. Right?
Oh God!
No. Manville, did you hear it? No.
Race ideology is a pure biopathic expression of the character structure of the orgastically impotent man.
Okay.
So if you go, let's say there are other communities that have race ideology way more than what we see in this room. Let's say. So I think just you got to think about the implications of that accusation.
I think there is a relationship between the low levels of testosterone that we have in this society and the behavior of its males and the females that are around these low testosterone males. But overall, these are like the behaviors that we are exhibiting in our political zeitgeist are a function of who's voting, which is overwhelmingly female.
Low T males.
Big W.
Well, big W plus low T males. I mean, that's what 70% of the fucking country.
Big W wouldn't be a thing if the T levels were higher. Men would reassert themselves.
What is Big W?
No, God. Where's Jason when you need him?
It's Jason Dusick's anthropological theory of the extraction of surplus value from males by the females.
An explanation of female power in society.
Through coercive means, though, you have to.
That's hot.
Through course, of course. Yeah. It's like when they all threatened to stop having sex with us because the Supreme Court said they don't have a right nationally to get an abortion. Do you remember that, Scott?
I do.
So essentially, like you could talk about male behavior as being primarily driven by reproduction or getting access to sex, and when you start to remove that from society or the intersexual dynamics become dysfunctional, and you have a lot of excess males that are shut off from or don't have access to like their primary motivator for existence, then you could postulate quite a bit of disorder and chaos stemming from that outcome.
That have successful relationships do not tend to like run out in the streets with a gas mask on and try to light police cars on fire because orange and bad.
Some might. Some healthy, sexually heterosexual men might set police cars on fire. I don't know that you could say that definitively. That
I mean, maybe if the Knicks win the NBA Finals, but not like that's not. If they were successful in the society and they were successful in reproducing, they were successful in like fulfilling purpose in their lives, they wouldn't be like latching on to these causes and joining drum circles and smoking pot in Central Park, to occupy Wall Street.
I'm just saying that these causes might arise for reasons other than sexual frustration.
Yeah, it's called politics, political competition. We have a birth problem in this country. Planned Parenthood's being sued right now, and they might file bankruptcy. So we might actually get birth numbers up again if we can get rid of Planned Parenthood. And if I was a legislature, I would definitely pass a new baby bill act where instead of funding abortion providers 100 to 200,000 per abortion, we would just give that 100 to 200,000 to that beautiful American mother that gives birth to that baby, and put that 100 to 200,000 in a Trump savings account. That's how we get the birth numbers up. That's how we save America's future, by birthing Americans, not importing Muslims from the Middle East and war-torn countries. Look at the videos in Spain. Look at the videos in Germany. Look at the videos coming out of Poland. Europe looks like it's on the cusp of a civil war. And I mean, I know that sounds, over the top. It's not true. I'm sure the numbers of the supremacists filming fire death videos to Muslim invaders is just, a small group of people, not the hundreds of people in the video. So conflict is only going to escalate, and it's because of the liberal, progressive, Democrat, pluralist, socialist, communists that believe in critical race theory and that spammed this app for years with their racist white rhetoric and their structural paradigm and political ideology that white supremacists control the world and other nonsense. But I just want to say that the great equalizer is not the Smith & Wesson anymore. It's definitely the COVID-19 vaccine and mRNA technology. Now, I know there's a lot of vaccinologists here that they're already getting a tickle in their anus because they're saying, how dare this motherfucker bring up vaccines again? How dare him? Well, Trump took us from 77 to 12 on the scale with young adults. And if 1 out of every 10 American men are autistic, aka retarded, and can't even work at Taco Bell and sweep the fucking floor because they're autistically savant, we've got a health crisis, not of our own making, but of the big pharma making, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of people say, oh, if you take a vaccine, you're not going to have developmental disabilities. You're not going to have developmental disabilities. Yeah, blah, 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 Daryl. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Some people got buyer's remorse. Yeah, can I get my badge, Scott? Some people got...
He sounds like...
Hello?
He sounds like that guy that interrupted the police chief in Madison to start talking about where I'm a revolutionary
communalist, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take all the white supremacy down. He sounds just like that motherfucker. Oh, my God. We are squandering our opportunity to fucking actually be the empire Star Wars warned you about. In favor
Okay.
in favor of this fucking like global homo just good enough. We have We have conquest and success at home bullshit. This is the simulation theory of the fucking Unabomber, like run amok. Okay, the fucking country needs an EMP more than it needs any fucking like enlightenment or progression on somehow like solving social ills. We just need to get the fuck out of our screens and stop being fucking enslaved.
I wish I could remember the title of Ted Kaczynski's book off the top of my head. Like Civilization and Its Discontents or something, Western something like that. But Christian, you're back in the room, and I was just saying, you're a man now. You can take some shit.
Yeah, he likes talking about your prepubescent stage, like all the other faggots on this app that groomed this young man. And I just want to say a follow-up to the Unabomber theory of everything. The truth is, guys like me get censored, but they will allow the liberal, pluralist, progressive extremists to voice their extremism and label me an extremist, which is not true. And then you got faggots like Daryl who will sit there and go blah 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 blah. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, read a book, go to the gym, everything will be okay. AOC's frozen eggs. I'm coming out with a new AOC egg line. It's coming out at Jewel Osco in the fall. We're gonna roast AOC because she's pathetic. She spams. She wastes everybody's time with her stupid, nonsensical, not performative bullshit. And a lot of people accuse me of being performative, just like AOC is performative. Hello?
Thanks. I was just saying, before you came in, Christian, Kitover called all autistic people always gone. Oh, he ran.
Continue.
Continue. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's not fun. I was gonna start some shit.
No, he has his own.
Wait, Manville, please, just for one moment, I'm gonna do what Devin told me to do. Shut the fuck up. Agent, please tell me. What happened?
We got a badass over here. He wants
It's
to
not
pick
that
fights.
bad. So you've got some balls. So the Kitover was just saying all autistic people are retarded, and I wanted to start some shit, but now
Interesting. Well, I'm sure Manville holds the same view. So I mean, maybe we can get some going with that.
Agent, is this the same prepubescent child that...
Child? Oh my.
As an autistic person, all autistic people are retarded.
That is insane. I totally disagree.
That's amazing. I'm sure you disagree about a lot of things that are actually correct.
Like what?
Oh, Christian, you want this smoke? Are you sure?
What? I'm not a liberal, by the way. I'm not a liberal.
No, it's true. You're just a fag. But maybe you'll grow out of it.
Oh wow. No, I'm an independent, so I'm not.
An independent faggot. Wow. That's so unique.
Well,
Bipolitical, bisexual.
if you wanna try to prove that I'm a liberal, then we can have that. He's gone.
So you guys wouldn't remove fucking John Kitover, but you removed Manville?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know who did it at all.
I think Kitover removed himself.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think any of
know
us
why
would do that.
Manville.
We haven't done that at all.
I don't know why Manville is calling people fags. I don't get some of these rooms. I think the idea of the internet tough guy is so pervasive in our society because I think people can come on and say whatever they want to say that they would never actually say to someone in person. And it's almost like people call like Christians a fag, and then they run down into the basement and masturbate.
Daryl, 1 second. Can you just refrain from using slurs? Would that be okay?
I repeated what was said.
I understand.
Is that when he got removed?
That I understand. Just don't use.
Oh wait, no, he has a separate room. All right, I'm going to Manville's room.
Well, Continue, Daryl, please.
No, it's just so this. Some of these rooms are so weird, and this app is becoming what it's becoming. And I think we need to bring back like libel suits and he literally Kitover said.
Oh, Kitover's back. He's back. He is back.
Daryl, if you got a problem with the way that I use my cell phone and you want to file a lawsuit, feel free, sir. I listen to you every day, run your mouth in Gary Bumgarden's newsroom, and you don't say anything interesting. You got horrific Trump derangement syndrome. You waste all your time picking your toes in Poughkeepsie. I suggest you do something more productive with your legal career because I don't think you're going anywhere, sir. You're not interesting. You're not intelligent. You don't create any type of value. And I gotta say, you're boring and I am complete. Have a good day, Daryl. Enjoy your Trump derangement syndrome, sir.
Shut this down if it continues like this.
Yeah, that's it. There's no reason to just sit up here like that.
They don't like it when it's one way, huh?
I also can probably pretty much guarantee you those men complaining about the birth rates and the Muslims taking over and how women have to be baby machines. I can guarantee you none of them are in relationships, and none of them.
Oh, that's right. That's
I don't have a woman come here.
She's correct.
to talk like that.
She is correct. It's not talk like that. It's factual.
I was driving somebody.
Okay, that's okay.
Was there nonsense going on?
There's like a lot of F slurs. It got really creepy and weird.
It was just creepy and weird. It was very creepy.
Bounce
and weird.
anyone you want. You're mine. Bounce anyone.
Yeah.
By the way, Salima, you missed a very good exposition of critical theory by a young Christian here. We need more high schoolers like Christian. You did an excellent job, buddy. Excellent job.
Yeah, people don't actually look at critical theory and what it is, and when they actually do, then they find out that it's more of a fundamental analysis of how society's run over like this guideline of how society's supposed to be ran, and people don't understand that, and it's really sad because then they have this like sort of like derangement like sort of thing from society where they think like, oh well, this thing is here. So, it must be terrible toward my opinion. And then they start like going off and, it's a bullshit and like, oh, well, what's wrong about death? Like, what the fuck? But, yeah, it's, people just need to look more into it and have more knowledge on subjects like this because it's
Excellent, Christian. We love this.
I was going to say bravo, Christian.
Yeah,
That was
thank you.
very good. Thank you.
I think critical theory tends to be agenda driven and focused on the distant past.
And whose fault is that, Devin?
Well, I don't think critical theory. It's not like the Frankfurt School is focused on the distant past, right? I mean, critical theory is something from the 1930s.
Nor is critical race theory. It's not focused on the distant past. It's also focused very much on the present.
I actually think the advancement of critical theory too, I think Marx was probably not attuned enough to cultural stuff, and that's what I think the Frankfurt School saw, right? The sort of power differentials in society are culturally, I don't know if it's driven, but reinforced. So I think that's actually quite helpful.
I'm sorry, Scott. It's not helpful. It's distracting, and it's a part of the attention economy of low IQ communication. It's not part of the priorities of national survival and thriving. It is low-tier IQ. It's not philosophical. It's not intellectual. It is political ideology spam. I am complete.
hard. It's very intellectual. Well, there we go, folks. There we go. The great John Kitover, running for mayor, write-in campaign, libertarian candidate.
Oh, yes. Well, if I may, Scott, I want to say one thing about critical theory. Hopefully, I'm not too long-winded. Usually, I am. Who was it again? Yes, Devin. I'm gonna never forget that name. Devin, you're right. Critical theory is now agenda-driven, like in general, but it's kind of misleading in a way because the distinction is more between having normative goals versus being intellectually dishonest, right? Like the traditional critical theory wasn't intended to be completely value neutral, right? Like the Frankfurt School, they wanted social theory to do more than to describe society, right? They wanted it to identify and criticize any form of domination and contribute to the human emancipation. So unlike, most theories, it's like, here's what a society looks like. I'm not making any judgment about whether it's good or bad. Critical theory is literally like saying, like, fourth, here's how society works. Here's where domination occurs. And here's where, these said forms of domination should be challenged. And that is an agenda in a philosophical sense. It makes it philosophical. In and of itself, it is philosophical. And that doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing, right? Because having an agenda doesn't invalidate something. Every serious intellectual framework has values behind it, but we don't call that agenda-driven, right? Like libertarianism, Marxism, feminism, the conservative movement, liberalism. Yeah, I can go on. And the fact that these frameworks have a desired outcome, and we talk about this every day, it doesn't automatically mean that it has empirical claims that are false. So, we talk about these all the time, but we don't make this claim. But when we talk about critical theory, we say, oh, must be agenda-driven, right? And this is where, all the criticism occurs, right? Because it leads to this important question of, does the desired outcome determine the conclusion regardless of an evidence, right? And I think because of that, and where I'm probably going to be continuing, down this road of, just because something has an agenda doesn't mean that it's inherently bad, which I think most people think it is. Because there's a difference between, being normatively committed and, having a propaganda. Because, if you're normatively committed, you're going to be saying, I believe an unnecessary domination would be morally wrong, so I have to investigate whether the institution produces domination. And that's perfectly compatible with, anything that we see in scholarship, right? But if we look at something that's ideologically predetermined, then they're going to say, well, I already know this institution is oppressive, and I'm just going to interpret every piece of evidence like this institution is oppressive. And that is a methodological problem, because the first says, I have values, but I'm just going to investigate. And the second says, my values...
The great beast on me,